Alright, as I promised, once we hit 200 subs, I was gonna do that Tommy Oliver origin video. And here it goes. I'm also going to include the comic version and the Lord Drakkon version. So let's get into it. The first one we're going to start off with is the show versions, and then we'll head into the comic book, and then I'll last leave off on Drakkon. So let's start off with the original Green Mighty Morphin, Tommy's first entry as a ranger. The part that I missed. So when Tommy was the Green Ranger, he had met Kimberly Hart, and they started to form a romantic relationship. But when they started to form that relationship, Kimberly had to move. When Kimberly moved, she met a new guy and she had to break off her relationship with Tommy, but then Tommy was able to form a relationship with the new Pink Ranger of his team, which is Cap. So Tommy was the new guy in Angel Grove. When he was the new guy, he had already met Kimberly Hart, but he also met Bulk and Skull, but he immediately scared them. One day, when he was finished with school, he was walking home. He then was found by Rita, because before this, Rita had chosen Tommy to be the Green Ranger to battle against the original 5 Mighty Morphin Rangers. Rita put a spell on him and corrupted Tommy, and Tommy was corrupted, and this in turn made him turn into an evil Green Ranger. But the Rangers were able to break the spell off of Tommy and were able to use Tommy and become a valuable member of the team of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But Tommy's powers were temporary. You see, since Tommy's morpher and powers didn't come from the morphing grid, it would lose power very quickly because his powers came from a green candle. So Tommy, once that green candle was out, Tommy couldn't be a ranger anymore. And the green candle eventually got put out, and Tommy had to transfer his powers to Jason, and he couldn't be a ranger anymore. Now let's head into his White Ranger. So after Tommy had finished being the Green Ranger, Zordon and Alpha then selected him. They basically chose him to become a new White Ranger. And when he became the new White Ranger, it was a secret and a surprise for the Ranger. And this new White Ranger was meant to be more powerful than any other Ranger. And he was. Tommy would also get a sword that was very powerful named Saba. He would also get the ferocious White Tiger sword as well. And with these new powers, he would become the White Tiger Ranger and help out the Rangers battle Lord Zed's forces. And his Rangers would also, and his new team would also get their Thunder Zords. But their powers were but when Lord Zed or Rita, I believe, when they reversed time, Tommy was turned into a kid. And when Tommy was turned into a kid, the Aquatar Rangers, the Alien Rangers, then had to come in and take their place as the Rangers of Angel Grove. Zordon then sent Tommy as a kid to find the Zeo Crystal. Now let's head into a Zeo. So when Tommy found his crystal, he returned, and time then went back to normal, and he was an adult again. But Rito and Lord Zed had already destroyed the command center with Zordon and Alpha in it, and they had also destroyed their Thunder Zords as well. But then Tommy was able to get his Zeo Crystal. With the Zeo Crystal, he became the Red Zeo Ranger and lead the Zeo Rangers to a new fight. But then he had to do one last adventure, and that was being in the Power Rangers Turbo. He then became the Red Turbo Ranger once the Zeo powers were destroyed. He became the Red Turbo Ranger, but since he was a senior in high school, he couldn't stay in Angel Grove anymore, and he had to go to college. So then he decided to transfer the Turbo Ranger powers to a new person, and that was TJ. So Tommy left and went to college and graduated. When Tommy graduated, he then went to a high school to teach science. But when he found out about So when Tommy graduated, during his time in college, he met a woman who can make Ranger morphers. You see, Tommy was an intern with a man called Anton Mercer. But one day they were attacked, and one day Tommy had found the dino gems and he gave them to his friend who made morphers out of them. He then left to work with Anton Mercer. But when he went to work with Anton, their base was attacked on an island. Tommy was by a man named Methagog and Zeltrax. Tommy was able to hold his own, but he had to flee the exploding island. Tommy then recuperated and started teaching high school. That was until 3 of his students found out about the Dino Gem and his base and they had to become rangers. Tommy then decided to mentor the rangers to make sure that they would not make the mistakes that he made when he was a ranger and make sure they know how to fight. But then Tommy had to put back on the gear one last time. You see, Tommy had to become the Black Dino Thunder Ranger because Mezagog had stolen the Black Dino Gem. Tommy was able to bond with the Black Dino Gem and boom, he became the Black Dino Thunder Ranger. Lord Drakkon. So in this comic version, Lord Drakkon is Tommy, but he's evil. You see, there's this alternate universe called the Coin List, and in the Coin List, the Ranger, it plays out just like in the original storyline. But what happens here is that after the Rangers break the spell Rita had on Tommy, Tommy decided to still side with Rita. This in turn meaning no Zeo powers, no turbo powers, no none of that, because Tommy never was selected to become the White Ranger. So Zordon then had to select Jason to become the White Ranger, and Tommy and Rita's forces made an all-out war on the command center. But the Rangers were eventually defeated, leaving a few left remaining. Tommy stormed into the base, and boom, he saw the transformation happening with Jason turning into the White Ranger. Tommy interfered, destroyed Zordon, and destroyed Alpha and killed Jason, and he was able to combine his green Dragon Zord powers with the white Tiger Zord powers and have the Dragon Zord and Saba in his hands. And boom, he thought he had to become the most powerful Ranger in the world, and he destroyed many Rangers in many dimensions, and this in turn led to the Coin List, or the Dragon Saga as I like to call it. So it's basically an evil version of Tommy that combined the White Ranger powers and his Green Ranger powers. This meaning there was no Dino Thunder, no Zeo, no Turbo, none of that, because it didn't happen. Because Jace, instead of Tommy being selected, Jason was selected, but Jason had died by Tommy's hands, and now Tommy was able to combine both of his Ranger powers into one whole Ranger. And he started killing many Rangers so he can become the most powerful Ranger in all Power Ranger history. But that are all the versions of Tommy. I was going to do the comic version, but there was really no point because it kind of plays out just like in the show. But I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway.